Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a 2023 small business recap video. I'm so excited to be making this. I wanted to make this video to reflect on my year and talk about lessons I've learned, maybe things I would do differently, how my business has grown in 2023 based on different steps I've taken or different opportunities that have come my way, and just share what I've learned in 2023, successes, failures, all of the things. So let's get right into it. I want to start with a quick introduction if this is the first video that you're seeing of mine. So my name is Jessica. I have a small business, our Cheery Corner. I started it 3 years ago. I actually just posted today the 3-year birthday of the business. I don't know exactly what day it was, but it was end of December, early January that I started the business. And I sell hand-tufted products such as car coasters, big coasters, tote bags, phone grips, mirrors in 2024. I also sell keychains of dogs and cat breeds. I have a whole bunch. These are my keychains back here. I sell stickers of the dogs and cats as well as other designs, which I need to update my stickers on Etsy, but all of my keychains are on Etsy. And what else do I sell? Oh, and I also sell candles in recycled beer cans and soon to be in new vessels, so stay tuned. But that's just a quick overview of who I am and what my business is. So I'll start off by saying that I put like 99% of my time, energy, and effort into my business this year, which has definitely paid off. But in hindsight, I definitely should have given myself more breaks. I don't think I was ever burnt out, but I was on the verge of burning out, and I definitely was more stressed than I needed to be at times and just not giving myself enough breaks to take care of my mental and physical health. And I'm already implementing changes to make 2024 a less stressful, less burnout prone year. So 2023 has brought a bunch of new opportunities, things that I started which have definitely paid off. The ones that stick out the most to me are YouTube and in-person markets. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I didn't technically start in-person markets in 2023, but that's when my fiance Sean and I really amped them up. We did a market basically every single weekend in the summertime, which we aren't planning on doing that many again in 2024, but we were never planning on doing that long term. We kind of wanted to see how the markets were in New Hampshire, so we tried to do as many markets as we could so that in 2024 and future years we can filter out the best markets from the worst markets and just do the best markets. So that's something that I think worked really well for us because we were able to see what markets we did good at. Another thing you can do is just attend markets as a customer and see if you like the vibe of it, if you think that your business would do well there, but obviously you don't get the full picture unless you actually do the market. So I'm not regretful that we did so many, but it definitely added to my stress levels. So I'm excited to not do as many markets in 2024. And then speaking of markets, I wanted to share totals that I sold of my products in markets. So I'm not gonna give total finances because I think that's a little too transparent to give you my yearly finances, but I thought it would be interesting to still share quantities. So I apologize if I'm looking over here. I have the numbers off screen. So in 2023, for in-person events, we sold 434 candles, 526 car coasters, 47 big coasters. So the car coasters are the little ones that fit into cup holders. The big coasters are just normal coasters. We sold 644 keychains, which is crazy to me. My guess, I had guessed what the numbers were before Sean told me. I thought we had sold 150, which I knew was a little low, but I did not think it was 644, especially considering we were not selling keychains all of 2023. Then we sold 1,137 stickers, 84 phone grips, 52 tote bags, and 10 pins. The turtle pins, that's what I'm referring to when I say pins, I only brought to a handful of markets, so that's why that number is so low. But yeah, crazy. So that's what we sold at in-person events. Then on Etsy, we sold 83 candles, 366 car coasters, 43 coasters. Yeah, wow. That number doesn't seem right to me. 182 keychains, 16 phone grips, 3 tote bags, and 5 pins. So total quantities of my main products for the year, in person and online, would be 517 candles, 892 car coasters, 90 big coasters, 826 keychains, 1,162 stickers, 100 phone grips, 55 tote bags, and 15 pins. Crazy. I also had some Etsy exclusive products, which included punch needle kits, punch needles, frames for punch needling. We had both big and small frames, refill kits for the punch needle kits, sales tracking spreadsheet, location stickers, to-do lists, custom stickers, and wooden keychains. The wooden keychains, the sales tracking spreadsheet, the frames, the punch needle kits, and the punch needles are all new products of 2023, which is crazy. For the punch needle kits, we sold 154. That was a huge success. I was like blown away by the support on the punch needle kits. We sold 96 punch needles, also a crazy number, 38 big frames and 30 small frames, 11 refill kits. The refill kits are pretty new, 21 sales tracking spreadsheets, 15 location stickers, 7 to-do lists, 9 custom stickers, 25 stickers on Etsy, and 2 wooden keychains. Along with the punch needle kits being a huge success, the punch needle frames and frame covers has also been a huge success, and I've been like very happy with how it's been going. We've gotten many orders since Christmas for those, which shocks me. I would not expect people to be buying such a high-priced item right after Christmas, so that makes me very hopeful for the continued success of the frames. So those numbers were shocking. Like I said, I had guessed all of these numbers before Sean told me. I actually made a TikTok showing my guesses compared to what the actual numbers were, and I was very surprised. So do not underestimate your hard work if you're a small business owner. I think it's very powerful to like look at these numbers after and give yourself a pat on the back, because that was a lot of work for a mostly handmade business. So also in 2023, along with ramping up markets, I started my YouTube channel. That's kind of a lie, because I started my YouTube channel in 2020, I think, but I was doing like daily vlogs that 60 people were watching. But once I switched over to small business content, that's when I started to gain traction. And it's also when I became much more consistent with my uploads, and that really happened in 2023. So in January of 2023, I was at a few hundred subscribers on YouTube, and as of today, December 29th, I'm at a little over 6,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I'm so excited to keep growing and keep uploading on YouTube. And I definitely think the two main things that led to my YouTube growth was, one, staying consistent, and two, not thinking about failing or like caring if people watched, like finding the joy in filming and editing videos. I really love to film and edit, so it's not hard for me to make videos. The only difficult thing is finding the time to edit, but we make it work. And YouTube has been amazing for my business. Not only have I gained so many supporters, but I've also had the opportunity to work with some businesses. I have yet to have a paid collaboration, but I've had products sent to me that I review, and yeah, I've had people, subscribers, send me things like that sign, and it's just been so special. YouTube has been such a great decision that I've made for my business. It's just added to like my overall happiness. I love all the support that I get from YouTube subscribers, and it's just amazing. But I've also started making money off of YouTube this year, which has been amazing as well. The extra income is very appreciated. I think my best month of YouTube was in November, and I made roughly $1,200, so that's amazing. So grateful to be making money off YouTube. I didn't see that as something that was gonna happen anytime soon when I started making small business content, if at all. So the fact that it happened the same year is incredible, like monetization. So yeah, that's been amazing. So honestly, if someone who had a small business was asking me for advice on how to grow their business, my biggest tip would be YouTube. I think it has grown my business the most this year and has driven sales to my Etsy more than any other platform. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm like pretty positive. And yeah, so if you have a small business and you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you don't know if you'll have time, I would just say go for it. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but give it a shot, because I'm so glad that I started my channel, or started business content on my channel. Okay, back to in-person markets because that was like such a big part of 2023. If you follow me, you already know because I was posting weekly market prep vlogs pretty much like at least half of 2023. That was my content and I'm gonna continue to make those into 2024. But yeah, I did a lot of markets. I did 32 markets this year. I know people who do markets like 3 to 5 times a week. I could not do that. I do not have enough inventory or time to prep for that many markets. So for me and what I make, that number is probably about where I'm gonna max out on how many markets I can do a year. Like I've been saying, I'm not gonna do that many next year. So that's kind of crazy, 32 markets. I also wanted to share my best market, how much I made, and my worst market to give you an idea of how much it can fluctuate. So for my best market, it was a 3-day market, and total of all 3 days, I made $2,596 in revenue. My worst market, I made $85. And then my best single day market, I made $1,854. So it can fluctuate. We all have good markets, we all have bad markets. It's about finding markets that your products are gonna do well at, that drive a lot of traffic, so like well-marketed markets. I would suggest going to ones that have been around longer and that people know about. You can follow these markets on Instagram a lot of the times, see how many people are engaging with their posts. Also on Facebook, you can check out the market and see like how many people are interested in going to gauge, you know, what the turnout might be for that year. Facebook is your best friend looking for markets. I also wanted to discuss my product line January to now. At the beginning of the year in January, I had stickers, car coasters, candles, and heat pressed tote bags. So not punch needle tote bags, just the heat pressed vinyl ones. And then now in December, I have stickers, car coasters, candles, heat pressed tote bags, phone grips, tufted tote bags, keychains, and some pins. So we have expanded the product line a little bit and I'm excited for 2024 because we're expanding it even more. In 2024, we plan on having mirrors, different candles, so candles in different vessels, and jean bags. So Sean's gonna be making bags made out of jean material, like recycled jeans. So we already did some thrifting and picked up some jeans. He hasn't started with the bags yet, so it's still kind of TBD. And then I wanted to talk about some things I learned and like growth moments from 2024. I apologize again, I'm looking at my notes app, so that's why I'm looking down. Yeah, something that I've said a lot this year is once you establish a business and you have the foundation laid, there's security in that. And I feel comfortable trying different products, investing in different things because I'm building and I just feel like it opens so many avenues. There's so many ways you can make money as a small business that you might not have even thought about. Yeah, you have the markets, you have Etsy or Shopify, YouTube. I started making money from YouTube. You can sell products in stores. I did that a little bit in 2023. I sold my candles in stores. Going along with that, you can do wholesale, which is pretty much the same thing. But you can also sell on wholesale websites, so you'll get even more orders from other states, so that you're not just selling to local stores. Gosh, you can host workshops. You can create a Patreon where people will pay to get a monthly subscription of your products. You can do whatever you want on Patreon. There's just so many different things. That's something I've learned. I've also learned that mindset is everything. I started YouTube without thinking, oh, this might fail, no one's gonna watch it. I didn't have those thoughts in my head. Like I knew it was gonna be awkward and cringy and probably still is a little bit. And I just accepted it and knew that I was gonna get more comfortable on camera, and whatever happens, happens. I let go of my ego, my pride. I didn't care who saw the videos. And I think it definitely helped that I was in college. I don't think I would have started a YouTube channel in high school personally because it's too close-knit of a community for me to have wanted to start a YouTube channel. But yeah, once I got into college, I was like, oh, whatever. So yeah, and I've had that mindset with my business too. And I know it's a privilege to have the mindset of, it doesn't matter if this fails, like just don't think about it failing, make it succeed. Because there is a period where you're not probably making enough money to do it full time. Like off the bat, most people can't just quit their job, start a business and be full time. But you know, even if you have to work another job, I was working another part-time job, but if you have a full-time job and you want to start a business, start the business. Don't think about what if it fails. Know that you have something to fall back on and just put everything you got into your business. It's gonna be the hardest at the beginning to grow the initial foundation, but once you have it, it's a lot of fun and you're gonna be proud of yourself, so just go for it. Something else I learned this year, I learned from being at markets, which is how to price my items according to how much time and effort I put into the item, the price of materials obviously to make the item, but also what people are willing to pay. You really see what people are willing to pay when you do markets. It's one thing to put products on Etsy and, you know, gauge how many people are buying, but when you're at a market, you can see how many people are actually looking at your product versus how many people are buying it, and you also get commentary. For example, if they're shopping with a friend, they might say, oh, I really like this, but I can't afford it. Oh, I really like this, but I wish it was $15. Or, oh wow, this is really cheap. You know, like things like that can help you gauge where your pricing should be. We brought our candles down from $18, I think, at the beginning of the year to $13 now. And we could probably charge more for what people are willing to buy, but based on the time it takes and the material cost, we're happy with $13 and we get more sales. That's another thing. Sometimes it's better to charge a lower price and get more sales because you'll get more revenue overall. If you sell 5 candles at $20 each versus 20 candles at $13 each, you make a bigger sum of money selling the $13 each candles. So just food for thought. Pricing is a huge thing and you definitely want to put time and thought into how you want to price your items. Another thing with pricing is some things I've learned, I'm sure people are gonna disagree with this, but you're just not gonna be able to charge what it's worth for your time to make it. For example, I have this mirror that I just made. I haven't started selling these yet, but this took me about 6 hours to make. And if I wanted to make $30 an hour, I would have to charge like $180 for that mirror. And I know that no one is going to buy this mirror for $180, nor do I want someone to pay that much for what the product is. So I have to lower my price and just charge the max of what I think people are willing to pay. For products like that, my advice is to have other products where you have a larger profit margin. For example, I sell keychains that aren't too expensive for me to purchase and I'm able to mark them up quite a bit for what people are willing to pay, and that helps balance out products where I'm not able to charge as much as I would like to. And then I also learned how valuable it is talking to other vendors at vendor markets. We usually talk to our neighbors. It's the easiest people to talk to, especially when there's some downtime during a market. And not only do you build connections and meet new people who can maybe help you in the future or just be a support for you, we've gotten a lot of great advice of what vendor markets are really good, what markets they've done really well at. They just have a lot of insight that you might not have. So very important, talk to your vendor neighbors. I will say I don't always talk to my vendor neighbors, but the times that I do, they're always very nice, and we usually end up connecting on social media and staying in contact. And the other thing I learned from doing markets is how important your display is. You don't want flat, one-dimensional pieces to be your whole display. That's kind of how I started. I had a really small setup, which honestly is all I could do. I was in California. I didn't have the means to get a whole big setup and then travel back to the East Coast. But once we came back to the East Coast, I started getting more tables. I got some shelving, shelves on my tables to elevate my products. Your display is so important for getting people to come into your booth, and I have a whole video on how to create the perfect pop-up display, which I will link below. But yeah, that's what I learned from doing markets and just in 2023 overall. And I also wanted to touch on some failures of 2023. The first being products that I attempted to make and sell that failed. So the main one that sticks out to me is crochet. I got everything to crochet. I attempted to do it. I made like a little coaster, and then I started making a plushie, and I realized that I just did not have the time to dedicate to a new craft. I wasn't really good at crochet off the bat, so I set that project aside like a month after I started it and have not touched it since. So crochet maybe one day, but it's just not my cup of tea right now, and honestly that's okay. There are a lot of crocheters at pretty much every market that I vend at, so I don't know if I would really even want to sell crochet, but maybe one day just to like have another skill under my belt, make myself things and my friends things. But it's funny because I'm looking, like, I have so much crochet in my office. I really appreciate crochet, so maybe I'll just stick to buying. Another product that I started but never really came to fruition were dog bandanas, and I still might do that in the future, but I realized it doesn't really fit my aesthetic and product line at the moment. But I bought a sewing machine for it. I made a bandana. I was running into some issues with the sewing machine, and I was kind of getting down on myself for spending the money on the sewing machine, which is so funny because not too long after that we started selling punch needle frames and punch needle frame covers, and that sewing machine has been used pretty much every day for the past few months by Sean, who makes the frame covers. So honestly, one of the best investments of 2023. And I think that's all I'm gonna have for this video. I really just wanted to do a 2023 recap video. Sorry if this video is kind of all over the place. Hopefully you could take something from it. But yeah, I'm so excited to take you with me into 2024 and continue to grow our Cheery Corner. I'm so excited for the new year and everything that we have in store. So yeah, if this is the first video that you are seeing of mine, definitely check out my channel. I do studio vlogs, days in the life, all behind the scenes content of my business. So I hope you enjoy and stick around, and I will see you in my next video.